Today we're going to be adding color to our beautiful Romero Britto kitty cats. So I'm going to show you some tips on using markers to make your cat even more beautiful. We want to color inside the new shapes that we created. So for example, I'm starting with the head and I'm stopping when I see a straight line. Remember those lines we made with a ruler? We're going to stop every time we see a Sharpie line made with a ruler and then get close to that line and stay inside that shape, also going around the other shape. So see how I went around my nose right there? I can color on top of my eyelashes because it's just a line, it's not a shape. And I'm only coloring in one shape at a time. So instead of coloring the whole cat with blue, I'm gonna color just this little piece because it is surrounded by black Sharpie lines. And I'm making sure I color all of it in, every single little white spot, not leaving anything left so I can cover up the whole part of the white paper. Now I'm using blue. I don't want to use blue here. I want to skip around and make sure I use variety and use different colors. So I'm going to skip around here if I still want to use blue. And remember, one shape at a time. This time the shape is a little spot on the cat's back, but it's only the top of the spot. I stopped when I got right there because that is a different shape and that Sharpie line is telling me to stop. I'm gonna switch colors now. I can always go back to that blue later, but I wanna make sure I use as many colors as I can because Romero Britto uses lots of variety in colors in his artwork. And I colored the bottom part of that shape. I didn't keep going here because this Sharpie curvy line told me to stop. Some of our shapes are gonna be teeny tiny and some of our shapes are gonna be medium and some of our shapes are gonna be large, okay? Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to make a really good, solid, bold coloring. So I'm going to show you my marker tip. Okay? Sometimes when we color, we are tempted to color with the top of our marker on that pointed tip right there. But today, you are going to be coloring with the side of your tip. So here's the tip. I'm going to turn my marker diagonal so that I can color on this diagonal line, because look how much thicker it looks. Here's the tip. Here's the diagonal part. The diagonal part looks so much better and I can get the job done quicker. And it's better to cover up the white space. So that's why I'm turning my marker sideways when I color. And I want to color up and down or side to side. I like to get close to the Sharpie lines first by kind of tracing near them. And then I like to color the inside. I'm not going to color in circles or zigzags. I'm staying up and down or side to side. And when I'm laying my wrist down and making sure I'm not laying it down in marker that I just used, it needs a few minutes to dry if I don't want to get my wrist wet or smear my beautiful colors. Can't leave it like that. I got to cover up all the white from this shape. Okay, and I stopped where my Sharpie line stopped so that I can color one shape at a time. Okay, you're gonna color all the parts of your cat and then you're also gonna work on your background, which is the shapes above, below, and on the side of your cat. So don't forget about those shapes too. Even when you go to the edge of your paper, we're gonna have a newspaper or something underneath so that we don't get it on the table because we wanna get very close to the edge of the paper. Remember, turn your marker sideways, color up and down or side to side. Get close to those Sharpie lines, but try to stay in the lines. And make sure you're using the marker lines, the Sharpie lines, to tell you when to stop. Try not to put two colors that are the same close together. Try to spread them out. For example, I'm gonna use this purple again way over here. And I can use it more than once, but I don't want it to be very close to the other violet, purple, or the purple shape I used earlier. We're also using bright, vivid colors. So colors from the rainbow, like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and also the colors that are light, like those colors, like pink, light blue, light green, light violet, things like that. We're not going to use a lot of gray, black, or brown. Those are dark colors or dull colors. Nothing wrong with those, but they don't belong in a Romero Britto work of art. So that's why we're gonna stay away from those to make sure that we're using bright colors, okay? Please don't do like this, scribble scratchy coloring like that. It's not going to be very bold if you do that. So make sure you use solid coloring by turning your marker sideways, going around the shape first, Sharpie lines, and then color inside. And make sure you stay up and down or side to side. Remember, color your inside of your cat, all the different pieces, and then work on the background or the shapes around, under, and on the side and on top of your cat. I'm going to speed this up and show you a little bit of coloring from another example, because no matter which cat you did, we're still following the same directions. We're coloring with bright, bold markers in every single shape, using those Sharpie lines to help us. All right, watch me, and then it's going to be your turn. I just can't wait. Getting very close to finishing this cat. Remember, we're not coloring with the tip of the marker to make it look all scribble scratchy. We're coloring with the side or the diagonal part of the marker. No matter what kind of cat you're coloring, even if it's got a bunch of patterns like this one, remember, only color in the Sharpie lines to make lots of different shapes that are all different colors. Once you get towards the end, you may leave 1, 2, or 3 shapes white if you want, but not more than that. If you want to leave 1, 2, or 3 stripes or shapes white, you may, but everything else must be colored, or you can color the whole thing. Have fun. Look at all the beautiful patterns in Romero Britto's artwork. Polka dots, stripes, lines, shapes. He loves to add patterns to his artwork to make it more interesting. Let's do some today. The very last step is adding patterns to our Britto kitty cats. I'm going to start by picking a shape and picking a marker that's a different color and thinking about what kind of repeating line or shape I want to make. This is a yellow shape, so I need to pick a color that's lighter than yellow. Orange is kind of close to yellow, so let me pick something a little darker, maybe like green. And I'm going to start by making a pattern of lines. Patterns are things that repeat over and over and over. So I'm drawing the same diagonal line over and over, and I'm only drawing it on this yellow shape because I want every shape to have a different pattern that I'm working on. Just like that. Now I'm going to work on another shape, maybe right here on this green shape, and I want to pick a color that's darker than green. Violet would be awesome. And this time I'm going to do circles. I think I'm going to do some full circles, some little half circles or semicircles, some small circles. So they can be different sizes as long as it's the same thing over and over, like circle, 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 circle. I can leave them open, or I can color them in. Now I'm going to work on a shape in the background, this peach shape, because even the background shapes need to have patterns. And I'm using a color that's darker, but oh, peach and orange are kind of close. Let's not use that. Maybe I can use this raspberry color or dark pink. I think that would work better. And this time I'm going to do a vertical line that's wavy. So it's tall, it stands up straight, but it's wavy. And I'm drawing right on top of my color. It might change the color a little bit since we're drawing on top of a marker. So if it looks a little bit different than it does on the cap, that's okay. All right, let me do another pattern of shapes with a color I haven't used. I haven't used blue yet, and I think it would look great on top of this pink shape. Let me do some hearts. Let me do some big ones and some little ones. And this is a small shape, so I only have room for a few. And I think I'm gonna color them in. So remember, if you're drawing shapes, you can leave them open or you can color them in. Patterns repeat over and over and over. Ooh, I'm gonna turn that into a beautiful oops because I accidentally went outside my lines. Better slow down. Okay, let me do another line pattern with a color I haven't used. Let's see, darker colors. Ooh, this turquoise color would be great on top of this pink shape. Let me do zigzag lines. I can make them really long or short, and I can put them close together or far apart. And I have room to do one right here. That looks great. And let me do a few more before I speed it up and let you get to work. Let's do another dark purple on top of another shape that's light. Maybe this itty bitty stripe right here. I'm gonna do curved lines that look like smiley faces. Okay, I'm gonna continue working on this one and a couple more, and then it'll be your turn. I'm just finishing up this one, and I just want to tell you that you don't have to add patterns to every single shape. You should leave a few shapes without patterns. If you're doing lines like mine, make sure you do several lines, not just one. Keep working until you're finished, and almost all of them have patterns in your colorful shapes. Great job.